obviously, thank you for providing us that background, but if you can just give us some background knowledge on why you created those Elementary Genocides 1 through 3 documentaries.
Absolutely. To give y'all a background, for those that don't know me, my name is Raheim Shabazz, and I'm originally from Harlem. And I grew up like many of my peers, and I found myself on the wrong side of the law. And as a result of that, I was put into prison. And before I went to prison, I had no interest in school. I considered school the corridor of shame because of what they was teaching. And as many of y'all know, we have schools that are called Robert E. Lee Elementary School, who is a commander of the Confederate Army. And when you send their kids to schools like that, you have people that don't have their invested interest that's teaching them and telling them about taking command of the Queen's language. And we know this Queen is the same one that commissioned Columbus to so-called discover America. The kids wasn't interested in it, and I wasn't either. So to make a long story short, when I found myself on the wrong side of the law for doing something that was wrong, and rightfully so, I was punished for it, I went to jail. And when I went to jail, I didn't have a GED. I wound up getting my GED within 30 days, and I graduated at the top 5% of my class 8 days before I got released. And I began to realize that education was the great equalizer. And I also began to see that 85% of the individuals that was around me, they came from 7 neighborhoods. And these 7 neighborhoods, you had disparity in health, you had lack of education. So I began to see the systematic plan, and I researched it for 3 years, and I decided to do a documentary series. Initially, I wanted to just do one documentary, and that was the School to Prison Pipeline. How many of y'all seen the first documentary? Okay, so that was the first one. And after releasing the first one, it was a lot of success all over the world. #1 seller on Amazon. I would go out to community forums such as this and engage with the people. And they had a lot of questions. And one of the questions was, Rahiem, you focus a lot on black boys. That's all I know. That's who I am, and that's how I grew up. And they began to tell me that within the last 30 years, that there was an 800% increase in incarceration of black women. So I had to go back to the board and do my research on that. And I wanted to go back a little further. I went back to the landmark ruling of Brown versus Board of Education, and I released the Elementary Genocide 2. How many of y'all seen that? Okay, most of y'all seen one. So in that documentary, we wanted to ask the proverbial question, has integration done us more harm than good? And as you know, it has done us more harm, because during that time, you had 82,000 black teachers that lost their job. So essentially, what happened was they integrated the students and not the teachers. So that was that one. And then I wanted to end it with what was going on. And for myself as a social justice warrior, I wanted to connect the academic assassination of their mind with the assassination of black boys and women being killed in the streets. So that was my reason for doing it, and I'm glad everybody came out, and I'm glad y'all enjoyed it.
Thank you for that. One question I have is, as a parent in the public education system, how can I empower myself and make sure I empower my own parents in my own school so they're aware of elementary genocide?
I think every parent can provide for their kids and make them aware of what's going on by just simply teaching them. In the documentary, it talks a lot about homeschooling, and the #1 pushback that I get is I work 2 jobs, I don't have the time, I can't afford the money to send my kid to a homeschool. As parents, you're the first teacher. And homeschooling, any life lesson that's learned, whether it's inside the home, you're actually teaching their kids. And we have to stop thinking that education is restricted to a room with 4 walls. You can, you can go outside and sit in the parking lot and talk and become educated. So I think as parents, we have to take a proactive responsibility in our kids' life, because responsibility only means respond to your ability. And we are the holders and keepers of our self-responsibility. So it's only up to us. Nobody can do it. And to bring it home on that question, how many of y'all read Hillary Clinton's book? Good. Nobody. Well, in that book, right, it's called about the village. It takes a village. That's the name of it, right? And y'all know that's an African proverb, right? Right. So not only did she steal the African proverb, but she made that the title of her book. And in that book, it says that the parent's role is secondary, that the government role is to teach and train every child. That's what it says in the book. And many people, if you go read through the book, you will see that in there. Many people don't even mention that, you know what I mean? Because as y'all see, many of y'all haven't read it. But this is just to show you the mindset. You know, you can't give your kids over to the government. They can't legislate you to make your kids do homework. That's up to you to do that.
That's right.
I don't want to get too long with it, but yeah.
Is there any questions from anyone? Stan.
Thank you. First off, it was an excellent piece, and I appreciate it.
Thank
But
you.
most importantly, a very dear friend of mine, who is much smarter than me, dared to challenge authority by asking why. Why is the Bible so wrong, or how we perceive it to be, white? Jesus was not white. Not one of his disciples was white. In fact, Adam and Eve were not white. And none of them had blonde hair. All of them had curly black hair. I'm really curious. Now, I'm bringing this up because one of your screens had to do with the Bible and how it should affect us. One of the most important things that I see that she saw was black children need to see their place in history, starting with the Bible, because they were part of the Bible at the very beginning, including Jesus, who was not white and did not have blonde hair. It was curly and black, because nothing in that part of the world was Caucasian. Nothing. And the second, this is one of the most important documentaries I've seen in a while, and I really appreciate it. And when I've been involved in a prison ministry called Proverbs 6.
Question.
Yeah, that builds on what you're talking about. Children who love their parents, fathers and mothers, have a great tendency, almost 85% tendency, to follow them into prison, to be with them they hope. That's a psychological imperative. That's unfortunate, but it is also true.
Thank you.
The most important thing that we have found in this ministry, many of you probably know, is that when we educate those children and include them in their parents' lives in prison, the tendency for them to go with them decreases by almost 90%. It's important education.
Excuse me, sir. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I'm getting lost.
Do you have a? We're trying to take as many questions as possible. You have a question?
Let's give him a round of applause. My memory is not all that good, so I was really waiting for you to give me the question because I was losing me. But I definitely understand what you were saying, but I really don't believe that children go to prison to be with their father. I think they go to jail because they got caught, and it's a reality that, and I seen it myself while I'm in there, that you have an individual that gets locked up and just so happen they in the same prison as their father. And in the documentary, it talks about one judge that sentenced a father and a son on 2 separate occasions, 25 years. So it is a situation that happened, but 90%, I don't know about that. I'm gonna have to look into that because you know, statistics, we gotta find out where those statistics come from. Because statistically, if you read what the mass media says, they said that the black man is not in the home of the black father is not in the home of his child. But the CDC just recently debunked that and said that black men are in the lives of their children more than any other ethnic group. So we gotta be careful about those statistics.
Any other questions? Sir.
Peace, what's going on, black man? I'm okay.
I really appreciate the work you're doing. Except, my one question is, I watched a couple of your docu-series, and why certain clips you play twice?
You know what? I noticed that in there, and I think that's an issue with Amazon. Because my company don't have that there.
That's a good thing, because I felt like it was certain stuff that people need to hear twice.
Next
Okay.
question.
We got one over here in green.
Peace.
Peace, what's going on?
Your work is impeccable.
Thank you.
Promote all 3 series. I showed it in many cities. First, I want to say the educational system comes from Germany. They went to Germany and got the present educational system that they have. My question to you is, the educational system is built on white supremacy. How do we reverse those polarities for our children to receive some degree of education from America?
That's a very good question. And you know, I'm like everybody else. I'm still learning, so I don't want y'all to think I have all the answers, right? And one of the things when I go around the country and that perplexes me is that how do we teach our children to go to school, to get an education, and you're going to get a good job when they're surrounded by rich criminals and poor graduates? That's something that we really have to find out and find the answer to that. But to fully answer your question, I think that now what we have to do is we have to look at the time that we're living in. Because in the public school system, when they do the standardized tests, right? The standardized test is not helping us. The standardized test was used during the 1900s for industrialization, and we live in a world of customization. Now, you have, how many of y'all familiar with MIT? MIT University? Mostly everybody here, right? Every course that they teach is free online. You can go online, you can go to Udemy, U-D-E-M-Y. I might be mispronouncing it, .com. And every course that you can take at MIT, you can actually take free online. And it's a shame that an individual can go to school and have a 4-year degree and can't find a job. We're living in a society right now where a black person with a 4-year degree can't find a job, but you can have a white Caucasian that comes out of jail and he'll have a job quicker. So to answer your question is, we have to deal with what the here and now. And the here and now tells us that if you can deal with customization, you can be a high school dropout. But if you can do web coding, you can build an app, you can be a billionaire. And Facebook is a good example, YouTube, Lyft, and all these other app companies. We have the greatest minds, and our kids be on the computer all day long. So if they know about coding, you know, you don't need to go to a college and take out a loan and be in debt for the rest of your life. You can actually teach yourself that. Like I didn't go to school for filmmaking. I got a degree in human service, and that degree is still in that yellow envelope. I never had to show it to nobody. Everybody came to see me in jail when I was graduating, so it's not even on the wall. You know, when I got out, I knew that I was never going to work for nobody ever again in my life. For the last 6 years, someone told me what to do. Now I tell other people what to do. You know, and I run my own company, I employ and I hire my own people. And 75% of the people that work for me are ex-offenders. I don't like to call them ex-offenders, I like to call them returning citizens. You know, because that's what they are. And any of y'all that's in a position, if you find someone that is returning back to society, help them integrate back into society. Because that's the number one thing. Because if you don't have that, you're gonna have people that go back to jail. You know, and that's where the recidivism rate comes from. So I developed my own talent by going on YouTube and learning how to edit. You know, I started in this industry, I started as a journalist. And the reason why I started as a journalist, because in school, everybody told me I was a prolific writer. So I knew being a good writer, everybody gonna ask me about my criminal background. And I was able to write for every urban-driven magazine that exists. And if I ain't write for them, it's probably because I didn't have time, or I knew they wasn't gonna pay me my asking price. But I did that for several years. But then I began to see that the generation that was coming up behind me wasn't avid readers. And then a lot of the magazine was doing gossip. So I seen that they was online. They was looking at YouTube videos. So you have to meet the kids where they at. So that's what made me wanted to do the documentary. And another reason why I wanted to have individuals look at me not as a role model, but as a cautionary tale. If you do this, this is what's going to happen to you. But if it does happen to you, there's hope and redemption. You know, you can come out and you can make a better life for yourself. You got a question? Okay.
Why did the white people dress up as black people?
She asked, why did the white people dress up as black people in the movie? They was doing that to make mockery of them and to have them look at themselves in a negative light. And it was for entertainment. And I think one of the reasons to do it, you know, was to make them feel inferior and less than who they was. And, you know, it's unfortunate today that white people don't have to dress up like that. We got some of our own people that do it on their own accord. And it's sad. I hope I answered your question, young sister. That's a very good question. But you have black people dressing up as white people now, so they reverse it. So I guess you call it evil.
Thank you for coming, Brother Rahiem, and giving us the knowledge and information that you shared with us. One of the things that I've looked at is a lot of educators, administrators, staff members, teachers feel that if we teach that stuff that you got, that African American knowledge, they'll lose their house in the gated community, or they'll lose their car, or their job, or their pension. They have fear. What are some of the workarounds, or what are some of the things we can do, you know, to get this out here to our people and get that knowledge and inspiration to our people?
Well, you're absolutely right, because when I was doing this documentary, I had a lot of teachers that I know have a love for teaching and want to see our kids succeed. And they said they would be in the documentary, and on the 11th hour, I got the phone call, said, Rahiem, I got a mortgage, and I got to go to work on Monday morning. And I understand that. And that's why I'm in the position to say things other people are too scared to say or worrying about losing their income. Because what you have to do is you have to create passive income. You have to have 7 streams of income, and you have to be able to do other things where people are not gonna be able to stop no matter what you do. And then, if you have a love for the people, the right people, they're gonna support you regardless of whom or what. And once we decide and we actually build our own institutions, then we can hire those people. So that's the main thing. And sometimes, you know, you have to work within that system, and you have to be the spook who sat by the door. They don't even have to know, who you are and to the end, And that's how a lot of revolutionary wars was fought. You know what I mean? And then, I'm not gonna say that part. But yeah, you have to be around like-minded people. You know what I mean? Because you can't do it yourself. And you could pull your resources together and start building your own institution. It's enough of us. We have the buying power, and we don't have to worry about, getting fired from a job, scratching where it don't itch, while we on that job. But that was a good question. Thank you.
As we go around with the question, with the mic, please be sure to ask the question, because we are kind of short on time. And I know everyone has a lot of questions, so I'm going to try to get the mic around as quickly as possible.
How you doing?
I'm good.
How can we stop the amount of time given black inmates versus Caucasian inmates? For example, if a black inmate is locked up, he serves say 10 years. If Caucasian is locked up, he says say 5 years.
On probation.
How can we stop that disparity of time given to prisoners? It's common.
Well, that's a very good question. I don't know if many of y'all realize that there's 2,400 district attorneys, the one that decide what the bail's going to be, decide whether they're going to ask for a prison sentence and what that sentence is going to be. Now, out of these 2,400, over 85% of them are Caucasians. So what we have to do is we have to get individuals that come from our community, that represents our interests in those type of positions. But the problem is that we're trying to operate within a system that doesn't work for us. So a lot of times, if we put black people in there, it's just black faces in high places, because a lot of times they assimilate, they get that good money, and they get that job, and they get comfortable. But there's a solution to that too, and that solution is happening right now. The district attorney that didn't indict the killer of Mike Brown, they got him out of office. In Chicago, they got that district attorney out of office. It's like 4 district attorneys that didn't indict the police that now out of office. They may get another job doing something else, but they won't be a district attorney. So we have to do that, and as people, a lot of us, we vote in the presidential election. We got to vote in these local elections. All politics are local. So the local election is very, very important. And we got to get more of us in those positions.
I know this is a hot topic, so please, I know people might want to make comments, but again, we can do that maybe a little bit at another time. Right now, we're trying to get as many questions as possible, okay? Bear with us.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for all of your knowledge and your work with your films. What I have noted with your films thus far is that as an impoverishment from our society, the poverty rate requires that we act more quickly. And you have offered us some resolve, because I did not have any indication of where to go with my own family. And you stated that we should take our family interest and demand that our children would use technology to cultivate their interests. And I would offer that if you extend your film, that you would give us some template of what you might think from your experience that can help us better, because we always come out with these questions because we do care about our families, our children, and our culture. But that guidance would be appreciated. The question is, what curriculum do you think we should use to test our children, or how do you think we should make them job ready after we cultivate them as best we can in our homes, because there are standards for testing and job readiness? So what would you offer as a result of that?
The curriculum definitely should be an Afrocentric curriculum, and there are a lot that's available online. One individual that I know that has a very good curriculum is Kaba Kendi, and he's actually in the documentary. There's another individual named Marcus Klein. He's out of Chicago. Very profound brother, and if you go online, you can see the videos of his students. He has a curriculum that's available. And as far as to get them ready for the profession, like I said earlier, we have to cultivate their minds. We have to meet them where they at. If you see that they're interested in video games, then they should learn video coding. They should know how to build that same exact game that they spend hundreds of hours on. I think that's one of the main things that we need to do.
Yes. Mr. Shabazz, I want to say that I don't disagree with anything that I have seen. I do have a question, and that is, what responsibility do parents play? I've heard a lot about what the schools ought to do, what everybody else ought to do. What responsibility do parents have so far as getting children to do what they're supposed to do? It starts at home.
You just answered the question. The parents have the utmost responsibility before anybody else, before the school, before anybody else. The guidance counselor, the parents have the most responsibility. And without the parents, the parents is the first teacher. And the problem is that what a lot of people don't realize, the parents, they look at it as they give their kids over to the administrator of these schools. And the problem with that is that they will treat them like children and punish them like adults. So if you want that to happen, then keep giving them more power over their children. And as parents, what we have to stop doing is, and I see this a lot, is parents, they teach their kids more about Santa Claus than the 13th clause in the Constitution that tells them that you can be a slave if you're convicted of a criminal offense. And we have to understand that kids are being criminalized for trivial behavior, willful defiant. When the teacher tells you to sit down and you don't sit down quick enough, coming late to school, and just little minor things like that. We as parents, we have to fight back for that. Another thing we have to do is we have to be proactive in being on the PTA. Yes. Because those that are on the PTA, you're able to elect who's going to be on the school board. And those that are on the school board elect who's going to be the superintendent. And the superintendent in return elect who's going to be the principal. So we focus on that. And just in this town right here, Charlotte, y'all can take back our community. But it takes all of us. And I'm making it sound easy, but it's not easy. Because you're going to get pushback. And especially from those that look like you and that's in high places. And they got the 6-figure salary.
Sir, you mentioned.
Excuse me. One question.
About homeschooling. We cannot forget that not all of us are able to homeschool or send our children to anything but public school. So what is your answer for that?
All right, I'm gonna answer that real quick. You're absolutely right. Everybody can't homeschool. You ever heard of a cooperative? Yeah. A cooperative is a situation where this brother right here may be proficient in math, the sister right here may be proficient in English. She would teach the English, he would teach the math, and it can be a barter system, and a lot of times, like I said, even if you're not able to homeschool, you're homeschooling anyway when your kids is in your house and you teach them life lessons. If you take them to the supermarket and you telling them, this is what you're going to cook, this is the ingredients you need, that's homeschooling. If you take them to the zoo and you're giving them a life lesson, all of that's homeschooling. And it's a better education than you give in a public school.
Good afternoon. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. I grew up in Queensbridge Housing Projects.
Okay,
Queensbridge
is the house.
All right, appreciate the shout out in film. I also worked NYPD, and I retired from New York City Department of Correction for over 20 years. So some of what you've been through, I've had to live it myself. You know, the only difference was I went home at night. My question to you is that what was the one significant thing while you was incarcerated made you turn your life around? And if you had a solution, because you know on Rikers Island, when we let guys out, we take them to the bus station or we take them to the train station. We bring them back to the same neighborhood that they grew up with, and we give them $2.50 to get home.
They give them a little more than that now. $40. Get a $40 bus. Well, you come from upstate, you get a $40 bus ticket. I think with me, my situation is probably different from a lot of other people, is because I knew better. You know what I mean? I was smart. I was always the smartest one in the room. I just had the love of money, and I just made bad decisions. So when I was incarcerated, I can tell you this: no program in there, and I had to take every program just to satisfy the parole board. But no program in there made me decide that, Rahiem, when you get out, this is over. You ain't doing this no more. It was me, you know, because I knew better, you know, and I disappointed so many people. And I think with me being an avid reader, you know, a lot of things that I read, like, for instance, Marcus Garvey, I tell people this all the time, that's my favorite person I like to read about, right? One of his favorite quotes, he said, intelligence rules the world and ignorance carries a burden. And I never wanted to be a burden for my people. I had a lot of people that was dependent on me. Whether the people like in the criminal underworld was dependent on me, and then I had family that was dependent on me. And 6 years of being absent from that, everybody was going crazy. And I was going crazy too, trying to get up out of there. So I knew when I got out that for 6 years I had someone telling me what to do. I didn't want no one else to ever tell me what to do. And I wanted to, you know, be a free man and do things different. So it was up to me to do it, you know what I mean? And then the most important thing is that I had a support system around me.
Peace and blessings.
Peace.
Queen Ahia, we have shown your documentary many times, and throughout this, we have the documentary, we do have the Q&A, and the critical thing is solutions. The solutions. And as I look at it, it always talks about us homeschooling, teaching our children before they get to school. Now, when Brown versus Board of Education came out in 1954, I believe, the whole purpose was for us to segregate, desegregate, because we were separately equal. I think we should go back to that so that we are able to teach our children history that needs to be taught. A lot of times we learn about our history in college. Right. In college, not doing when it's critical. And then also, question, right? Okay, so question is, I feel that it's important that we go use the same energy that we had in the 50s to segregate, so that we're able to teach children that they need. I wonder, how do you feel about that? All the power and energy that we put that started the civil rights movement because of the Brown versus Board of Education. Do you think it's a great thing that we all come together as one to try to desegregate, to be separate and equal, so that we're able to teach our children the things that they needed so they don't have to be part of the prison institution?
I think that we need to teach our own. We don't need to, you know, in a perfect world, everybody get along, but as you see, you know, that's not the perfect case. And I think that we have to educate our own kids, you know, it's not up to nobody else. And you're definitely right. In 1954, during that time, if we possessed that same energy that they was using to try to integrate, if we possess that same energy now, we will definitely be in a better place. Yeah. And we have to realize that education is the great equalizer. When you look, let's go back to the 1800s, Carter G. Woodson, he was born a son of a slave. And he didn't go to high school until he was 20 years old. And when he went to high school, he graduated real quick. He excelled real quickly in high school, and he went on to earn his master's degree. But it took him 1 year to do the coursework to get his PhD degree. And this is 1800s. And the reason why he was able to do that is because he understood that education was the great equalizer. If we look at Mary McLeod Bethune, 1875, she was born to sharecroppers, right? She was one of 17 children, and her parents knew out of 17 children, one of them has to make it because they have to come back and help everybody else. They knew that education was the great equalizer. And she went on to open up her own school as well as a hospital. So this is before, you know, integration and all of that. We was able to do that in the 1800s. Then you have Benjamin E. Mays, who was the top advisor for Martin Luther King. He's considered America's greatest schoolmaster. He was born to son of slaves. Look what he was able to achieve. And if they was able to do this in the 1800s, we in 2018. The age of information with Google. So what's stopping us from doing that? I'll tell you, everybody's trying to integrate when we should be doing this on our own. I ain't too radical for y'all, right?
Keep it going.
Okay.
Welcome, Shabazz, brother.
Thank you.
I just want to ask, add a comment. This is Civics 101, and I'm just honored and friendship would even engage the community in something like this. But I think something is missing. Where's the Civics 101? We don't understand law. A lot of these problems relate to us not understanding constitutionality, legislation, and it's very simple. So I'll make it short. I am open, there's no question. I am open to teaching our people about law, and I know law.
I know I have 4 other people in front of you, but once a youngster come up and an elder, I have to address them, okay? I'm sorry.
Why does other people shoot other people, black people?
Wow. You see, the young asked the question. This is where I start fumbling on my words. Man, why do other people shoot? What was the question again? Why do other people shoot?
Why do other people shoot black people?
Woo. I think, to give it to you brutally honest, I think there's an inferiority complex. I think that individuals are suffering from genetic annihilation, and they're not reproducing as fast. I don't know if you can understand all that. They're not reproducing as fast as they would like, and that they don't want to see the greatness of the black man, woman, and child. You know, so that's why a lot of people are being shot and murdered unprovokingly. Did I answer the question? That was a hard question. They're afraid. To put it better, they're afraid.
Again, I thank you for coming in, providing us with enlightening information. We need, among other things, to study our enemy a little more carefully. The so-called president, Donald Trump, the term that's used by my favorite basketball player, LeBron James, he's already identified some of our major problems. He said, vote for me, you have nothing to lose. You have massive poverty, problem number 1. You have poor schools, problem number 2. And you have high unemployment. And we can name more, of course, but he has identified problems for us, the major problems for us. So we have to listen a little bit closer to them. But the main thing we need to do, and I'm glad to hear you say that Marcus Garvey was one of your favorite people, also on mine, 6 University. The bottom line is this. We have three major problems. Number one is what I call chaotic cliques. We have so many small organizations that are uncoordinated, not working together, except I call them chaotic cliques. Number two, we're not effectively organized because of these chaotic cliques.
Right.
And of course, number three, we've got to learn how to pool our money in economics so that we, and I have a master plan. I'll tell you right now, I'll be self-certain about a master plan. I'll put all the people together to deal with this. And my question is, how do you get more of our people involved in terms of spirituality as opposed to religion? I think we got too much religion and not enough spirituality.
I think I used to feel a lot like you as far as like religion, and I stayed away from it. But to be honest with you, some people need that religion. Me specifically, I'm more of a spiritual person, and I think like even with Marcus Garvey, you know, Marcus Garvey was a Christian, but a lot of people don't know about that because he didn't speak about that. And I think that we don't have to be uniform in our belief to be unified in our struggle. So someone could be a Christian, someone could be a Muslim, someone could be a Jew, someone could be a Hebrew. As long as we identify who this common and open enemy is, and we're ready to stand on the right side of history and fight for freedom, justice, and equality, then it's good. So I really don't get caught up in what a person's religion is. So I think that's the number one thing. And as far as us not being organized, you're definitely right. You know, as Black people, we have over 100,000 organizations. Anybody can tell me how many organizations that the Jews have? No, they have 6 organizations. And economically, they're more powerful than us, and they're more organized than us. There are only 6 organizations. So a lot of times you have individuals that's trying to build organizations to fight, combat police brutality, unemployment, recidivism rate, and I bet you there's 10 organizations that's trying to do that same thing instead of all of them joining forces as one. So that's another thing. No more organization. I guarantee you, whatever ills in society that is afflicting our people, there's an organization that's already on the ground, that's in your locale, that's probably doing the work and been doing it for years. And if you join forces with them, you'll be in a better position.
I'm going to have, before y'all leave, if you could please fill out your surveys if you have to leave early. I'm going to have time for probably 4 more questions. I already see my 4. I got y'all.
Yes, Ryan, thank you for the work that you're doing. In light of the condition of our people, what 3 videos, in addition to your videos, would you recommend, as well as 3 books that every household should have to get us on the right path?
Elementary Genocide 1, 2, in addition to my own, I definitely am a big fan of Tariq Nasheed with his Hidden Colors documentary. You also have 7 a.m. What other documentary? We have Black Friday. Oh, Amadeus Christ, Out of Darkness. Very good documentary. That's my brother. If y'all can, make sure y'all support him. Check out that documentary. I think that's about 3. It ain't too many people doing it like this. So that's as far as the documentary. As far as the book, Message to the Black Man, Elijah Muhammad, They Came Before Columbus. I think that was Ivan Van Sertima. Destruction of Black Civilization, William Chancellor. Francis Cresswellson, the ISIS Papers. Oh man, I got over 6,000 books I can name.
Also, there was a question earlier. Are you selling any of your videos?
I do have some videos in the car, in the trunk, and you probably can meet me outside. I didn't have time enough to get approved to sell it here, but I always keep them in the car, in the trunk, so you can meet me outside.
Your documentary spoke of the educational power of hip-hop. How do we influence hip-hop to be more, have more productive and more positive educational messages?
There is a lot of hip-hop that has that empowerment message, which you're not going to hear it on the radio. And I think with the advent of social media, we're able to find those type of music. And we do definitely need to push for more positive messages. But there are groups and individuals that do have those empowerment songs. It's just that a lot of people don't know about it because if they just tuning into mass media and what's going on the radio. But there's some real positive hip hop out there, and hip hop is the #1 tool because in its inception it was the voice for the voiceless, and somehow we got some gangster rap, and now everybody is into the Percocets and Molly's, and we have to get away from that.
Spoken word is good.
Oh, spoken word is good too. Absolutely. Go ahead, sister.
I want to thank you so very much for being here today. My name is Frances Hall, and some of what you spoke of today, I feel that because of me being raised by who I was raised by, and that was my grandmother and great-grandmother who were from the Bahamas, I began to fight in Miami, Florida. And unfortunately, I lost a husband when he was 22 and a number of family members when crack cocaine came on the scene. But what she gave me was the ability to be an entrepreneur.
Right.
And so from that, I had my own construction company for 21 years, and I stayed here in Charlotte. And now what I've done is open up a vocational trade school for adults in 2016. And in August 26th, we'll be opening up a vocational trade school, high school for boys, grades 9 to 12.
Right up the street.
And we own the building, we own the land next door, and I am one I will fight to the death. I have been through so much hell, but I need to know, how do I deal with my people to organize us for this one cause of saving our children? This is my grandson, and he walked in. I've been trying to get him to sit up and be attentive to this. And you know what he said to me? And I wrote it down. It won't help.
Wow.
So why did you say that? This young man, my grandson, who has lost mother and father because of the drug game, said to me, I hate the skin I'm in. Okay? And so now this is such a serious issue right here in Charlotte. Our biggest opportunity for our children is the drug game. And I'm watching every day how they round us up. How they round our young people up. Let them sell drugs for a little while, make a little money, and then pop them. Take them in. I'm working with a young man right now who they're talking about giving 25 years to, who was trying his best to get into the school. He said, Ms. Hall, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna be there the next class. I just gotta make this last little bit of money. And how do we get it in our head that we got to organize? We're losing our children. I don't know if anybody here have ever visited Stonewall Jackson Detention Center. Well, now they got our baby men, 10 to 18 years old. 4 buildings full. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it.
Jail North.
I lay my life down. I'm not afraid. And I give everything I got for 1406 Babies Ford Road. And you know what? I did what I had to do for entrepreneur. I'm not on anybody's payroll. I can do what I want to do. I had a white man say to me, we can't control you. I said, you will never control me. I own everything I own.
Can you tell us the name of the school and where it's located? And when we leave, I want to get your information. See, we talk about, homeschooling and having a school of our own. Here's a sister right here in the audience. And I know we don't have enough time to do it here, but if y'all see her outside, make sure y'all get her information. And let's support her and lift her up and make sure that her school is a success. And even for me, I'm not here in Charlotte, but I know that she could use some financial support. And even if we can't support her financially, we can let people on social media know about the great work that she's doing.
And volunteer.
And volunteer, that's right.
It is the Beatties Ford Road Vocational Trade Center. And my son, who went to Savannah School of the Arts, did the work. He's teaching graphic arts and design. I've been a contractor for 21 years, so I'm teaching blueprint reading and estimating, metal framing and drywall. I put some other minority contractors together, so we don't teach them how to operate a lift, how to flag. We teach them electrical, heating and air, metal framing and drywall, brickmaking, things that's going to make them some big support her.
Thank you, I appreciate that, sister.
How are you, Raheim? I'm Vivian Stewart.
How you doing, Vivian?
How you doing? It was wonderful. Also, I do have your first video, 1, 2. Please save number 3 for me, okay? So I'll see you in the back. Please, make sure. And just to let you know, we're very active in the community, and we're putting on a science and technology fair. This is our 3rd year, and the students will do science projects in reference to community building sustainability. So this is how we work, okay? So it's September 22nd. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right.
Last question.
Okay, yes, my name is Jefferson. Dr. Jossie Filoki, the gentleman that gave the statement, I want to be very brief on that. But he has authored 4 books, and one of the books I would recommend you can give to your children is The Truth a Teacher Never Told Me. He's here locally.
I think I heard of that book.
I'm sorry?
I think I heard of that book.
Great.
Is it on Amazon?
It is on Amazon. Okay. It's called The Truth My Teacher Never Told Me. So that would be an excellent read for your grandson.
Or the miseducation of black children in Charlotte.
I want to thank everyone for the questions, comments, plugs. I really appreciate it because, like you said, we do have to. I'm coming over. I got you. We really need to support each other. We're tired of giving other ethnic groups our money, especially if you with your hair, with the Koreans, especially at the gas stations. You know they're on that. You know, East Indians. Again, we need to be entrepreneurs and start to do our own businesses. I thank everyone for coming out for their participation. Now we will continue back on the program.
Family, let's give Mr. Shabazz a round of applause.
Thank you. I appreciate everybody, y'all.
If you get a chance, please fill out the survey. It's very important that we hear from you. Look on the back of your program. We have some more exciting opportunities for you to come on out. Please be sure to look at your calendar and see if you can support these events. Again, turn in your survey, and thank you so much, Mr. Shabazz.
Thank you.